Hello and welcome to the Stash-down Diaries. If you are new here, hi, my name is Jen and I'm a knitter. And on this YouTube channel, I talk all about my knitting projects. How do I usually say this? I talk about my knitting projects and plans with a focus on knitting from my stash most of the time. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It's been a bit. I've been really busy this October and also extremely tired and maybe a tiny bit cranky, but only a tiny bit. But I'm here now. So today is October 30th. It is Halloween Eve. I hope you're all prepared for a spooky Halloween tomorrow. It is going to be a rainy and windy one for us here. So yeah, I don't usually get trick-or-treaters. I had like 1 or 2 last year, but the previous years I had like 0. So anyway, I buy the treats. They show up or they don't. I usually end up eating a lot of treats after the fact, but I was going to not buy the treats and just go to my parents tomorrow, but I think I need to stay home and catch up on my cleaning. I was at my parents' house for 4 nights last week. So yeah, I think I definitely need a reset. My house is driving me bonkers. It is overwhelming and I need to hang out and clean. One of my production assistants is currently tackling a scrappy ball of yarn right in front of my face. Like, she's not even hiding it. Like, they don't even hide it anymore. They're right in front of my face, damaging my yarn now. It used to be I get up in the morning and there'd be a trail of yarn from the yarn room down to the main floor, but it's just a little ball of like worsted. It's not a very big ball of scraps. She can have it, I guess. My other production assistant is very sleepy right now next to me on the futon. She was actually my field assistant today. Yes, she has 2 jobs. Do not throw the canine labor code at me. She's fine. Just sleepy, which is good. So anyway, I think I should probably talk about the knitting. Today, what do I have? I have acquisitions. I have a couple of finished objects. I have works in progress. And I have Happy Mail for the first time ever, which is super fun. I like Happy Mail. So I will start with acquisitions. It is very brief. Where did I put it? So I watched a booktuber and she was saying how, well, she had bought a new book, and the reason was because she went to the doctor. So she gets herself a treat for going to the doctor. I hate going to the doctor, so I have started getting myself treats for going to the doctor. And I've had like 4 doctor's appointments in the last couple of weeks trying to figure out things. So anyway, one of the doctor's appointments, I went down to Tracy's and bought yarn, but the yarn's not for me. So I think we need to reassess and decide whether or not that actually counts as a treat for going to the doctor. My brother is going to university this year and he wanted yarn in the color of his university. And I do love the Drops Fable and of course the Drops Fiesta. But they don't have a solid green in the correct color. So I showed him this one. And the correct color is in here. It is there among the greens. If you look at it from far away, especially. And this is the correct color, yellow. So he approved of this one. So I got this one. And then here is, yeah, the contrasting yellow to go with it. So this will be knit probably for Christmas, maybe, or maybe just because I have his birthday socks, which I have to get in the mail, are done, and then his Christmas socks are almost done. Now sometimes I knit him 2 birthday socks, but I gave him 1 pair of his birthday socks already in the summer because he got a hole in a pair of his other socks, and I didn't want him to be short socks. So anyway, he got a birthday pair kind of early, so maybe those were the just because ones. I could finish the ones I have now and send those, like 2 pairs for his birthday, and then do these for Christmas. I will figure it out eventually. But yeah, so this is Drops Fable. This colorway is 542, and this colorway is 111. I have been looking at different patterns that people have knit with this, and like somebody knit this in stripes, like with the self-patterning yarn in stripes with the natural color, and it looked pretty cool. So I'm not doing that with this pair, but I might do it in the future with another pair. So that is those. Tracy is coming back. I say back to Bedeck. I didn't see her in Bedeck. I saw her in Sydney. She was at the port, but she's coming in, I think, a week. Yes, a week. Because when she told me, I was like, okay, that's a week after payday. So that's, yeah. So, and she had new opal. So maybe I'll get myself a treat of opal. And then I also have to get a natural color of opal or fable to hold double with some future projects, because I'm going to be talking about, oh yeah, did I say I have plans to talk about? I also have plans to talk about, so I'll save that for last. But anyway, so that's my acquisition. And then we can talk about Happy Mail, since it's almost like an acquisition, except it's not yarn, and it's not all for me. But the lovely Denise, who is from New Brunswick, which is the neighboring province to where I am here in Nova Scotia, she sent me some project bags, which is super, super nice. And one of them is for the make-along, and she told me I could pick which one. So I will show you what I got here. They are all beautiful bags in different sizes, and like one is a drawstring and 2 are zipper, and they're just so lovely. So the reason why she wanted to send me it was because my dog, or my production assistant, chewed one of my Christmas bags. Well, actually chewed the Christmas bag when she was still going through her jerk face chewing phase. So she wanted me to have a Christmas bag that was not chewed, which is very thoughtful. And of course, here we go. And it has dogs on it. So it is really excellent. I am going to be using this for Christmas gift knitting immediately on November 1st. I'm going to miss my Halloween bag, though. I might hang on to, like, keep using that one for a little while through November, because I do really like my Halloween bag. But this will also, I have so many projects on the needles that I can do both. So, yeah. Isn't it cute? Little spotty dog there. Little shaggy dog there. So then she sent me 2 more, and she told me I could pick which one to keep, and I had a hard time because they're both so much my jam that it took me a while to kind of, I had to think about it. So there's this one, which is the Puffins, and this one is a drawstring bag. Oh, there goes the other one. And I'll show you, yeah, the inside is different lining. It's little orcas. So yeah, I ended up deciding to keep this one. I love the denim bottom on it, and I kept this one because, well, A, I love puffins, and B, it goes really well with my saltwater knitting, because Newfoundland has puffins. It has an island of puffins that you can go visit. So do we here. We have bird islands, and you can go and do puffin boat tours. I've done them several times because I was helping do the survey of the island, counting all the species of birds. I would usually get the black guillemots to count. There's usually like several of us on the boat, and we get assigned a bird species or two, and we have to count them as we go around. So anyway, yeah, I get to see the puffins every once in a while. It's been a couple of years. I don't know if we've done that since COVID. I'm not sure. So I kept this one. And then this one is going to be a prize in the Elder Stash Make-Along. And you can see why I almost kept this one. Or I had a hard time choosing, because this one is also totally my jam because it is forest and animals. And it is so cute. It has this nice green bottom on it. And it is a zipper one. And it has this lining. So, and this is a great size bag. I think whoever gets this, like, can definitely do a multi-skein project in here, like a shawl with a couple of colors in it. You could probably fit the yarn for a vest in here. So it's quite excellent. Or if you're doing color work and you have multiple balls of yarn. So I'm going to set that one aside. Thank you so much, Denise. You really brightened my day sending me those, and I will take very good care of them, and I will use them with so much happiness, and my yarn will, I'm sure, love them. So, finished objects. I am going to unveil Nettle right now, okay? Are you ready? So Nettle, it was or is, because I think it's still going till tomorrow, possibly. The Numpkin and Nettle Mystery Knit-Along by Sarah Shira, who is the genius behind all of the gnomes. Her her brand is Imagined Landscapes, and every once in a while she does a mystery gnome along. And I don't get involved in mystery knit-alongs very often because I like to know the thing that I'm knitting. It is an investment of yarn and time, but hers I will do hands down because they're always adorable. I have family members who want gnomes, so even if it's not something that I keep, I can give it to a family member or a friend. So it will be something that has a home. This one is staying with me. The first one that I knit is Nettle, and I do have Numpkin on the needles. So if you are ready, there she is. Look at her little legs. And then she's got her like pumpkin body. I did pink for this one because if you look closely, there is pink in the gray. And her green nose, and her curly hair. Oh, I almost dropped her. Yeah, I love her. I am keeping her. She is staying with me in my house, and I will protect her from the production crew for sure, just like the rest of my gnomes. I want to get a floating shelf in here for all of my gnomes because they're a little bit vulnerable where they're at, like right there. And then I have a couple that are downstairs. But yeah, so she's been living on one of my bookshelves in the living room, which I'm starting to refer to as the library because I have too many books. Yeah. So I used Frankie Gray Fibers yarn. It was from it's like a 50-gram mini skein set that was themed Beetlejuice that they were selling last fall. And I've been like very indecisive about what to knit with that mini skein set as far as like colorwork socks and stuff. But then this knit along came along and I'm just like, yes, I need to use some of it for that. And I still have quite a bit, like they're 50-gram skeins. So I have quite a bit left over that can be used in socks as well, or whatever other small projects or multicolored projects tickle my fancy. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think the sets are available. I don't know if these colors are still available. I have no idea what the names of the colors are. if they even had names in this set. But yeah, this was super fun to knit. Really enjoyed it, and really enjoy the finished project. I will be knitting more of this pattern and the pumpkin one for friends and stuff. Oh, now the third production assistant is here, and she has now taken over the desecration of the scrap yarn because the other one is now in the kitty condo and is not paying attention to it. I'm just giving you the play-by-play here of, you know, the shenanigans that go on in the yarn room while I try to record. All right, so that is Nettle, and I love her. Okay, so the other finished object, the ends are dangling out, but they are woven in. These have been soaked and blocked. This is the first, I think, of my Christmas gift knits that I have completed. They're the little shorty pair of socks for my 9-year-old niece. And I've knit these out of Lizzie Ann yarns, which is now discontinued. The colorway is Strawberries and Cream, if you ever manage to find it on a Ravelry D-stash or something. It is rather cute. But, I mean, you can see there are lots of similar colors out there, so it's fine. The pattern that I used is one of my old standbys that I always use. It is the Simple Skip Socks by Adrienne Koo. You can see the skip stitch there. So for hers, I used 56 stitches. I think I did 15 rounds for the cuff. It was either 12 or 15. I can't remember now. It's been so long since I recorded that I'm having trouble remembering my stitch counts for this because I finished these like not long, I think, after I recorded before the last video. And then this yarn is, I didn't mention that, this yarn is Elegantly Twisted. They're Magical Murney base. I can't remember the name of the colorway. Oh my God, failing. So then I did a few rows for the leg, and then I did a heel flapping gusset. And yeah, just tried to estimate how long to make her foot. I asked my sister-in-law what size her feet are now. So they're a little bit bigger than the last time I knit her socks. She asked me for shorties. Of course, she can have shorties. I will probably knit her another pair before Christmas, and I might make them even a little shorter. So this is where the heel starts right here. So I might take out that and just do the cuff and go into the heel, or do half of this, or little less ribbing and then a little bit of like regular stitches for the leg. But yeah, so that is these. Those are my 2 finished objects. All right, so let's start works in progress with Numpkin. I was hoping to have him done by now, but I haven't been knitting as much as I would like. I've been tired. I've been busy and I've been tired. I think November is going to be a quieter month for me. I'm okay with October being busy because I like October, but I'm just I'm so exhausted. It's fine. We get an hour back this weekend, so maybe that'll help. But as far as Numpkin goes, I have almost all of his hat done. So his hat was, I think, yeah, his hat was clue 2 and clue 3. So I have clue 2 of his hat done. And I will show you his legs. I'm really liking how these colors are going together. I chose to do 4 colors for this one. I added the green for his legs instead of doing his legs in brown and having his legs the same color as the hat. I wanted to do some green in there. So let me just take my finger off of there. So there's a leg, and then the bottom is like that. So I want to get him finished because I'm going to need these needles for my next cast on party for knitting Christmas gifts. But this is what I have done. These are all the colors that I'm using for him. And he is living in a cute gnome bag from Beautiful Sister that I won in a knit along. I think that was last Christmas. The last Christmas one. And oh yeah, I'm knitting these mostly out of lichen and lace. This is lichen and lace, and these two are lichen and lace. It's the, I think there were 7 skeins in the set, and I got it for the, oh, I don't have them anymore. I gave them to my brother. The Professor Fungi mystery knit along. So that is what I got them for. And then I had like brown left, a lot of brown left over, a lot of this like variegated natural color left over, and I didn't use this one in that. And then the green, wait, now where am I? Oh, this isn't the correct brown. I'm using, this is the lichen and lace brown. This is the extra brown in case I run out of the lichen and lace brown. But I don't think I am. So this is the lichen and lace green, I think. Yes. It's either lichen and lace green or it's Heritage by Cascade. I think it might be Heritage by Cascade. No, it's the lichen and lace green. You guys, every time you come and watch my videos, you get to be just treated to me speaking out loud and thinking out loud. You know, it's a time. So my next work in progress, the other socks for my bro. I think the last time I showed these, I had one of them done. And so I've been so close to finishing them since like last weekend. So that's the one. And then this is where I'm at with the other one. I'm so close to finishing it. I just haven't been able to just sit down and do it. Am I going to work on these tonight? Yes. I think I'm going to watch the second Hocus Pocus movie and try to finish these tonight, because that would make me very happy. So the yarn is Opal. Oh, I thought I had the thingy here, but maybe I don't. No, I don't. I have like every other label hanging out over there, but I don't have the one. But this is Opal's Van Gogh collection. See that needle dangling? Ginny is like super tempted to bat at it. She's in her kitty condo now, which is the one that's like immediately next to me, and she's just like watching that needle like it's a snack. Okay, so Opal Van Gogh collection, Starry Starry Night. And the pattern that I'm using, so this is Blueberry Waffles. Technically, that is the pattern I'm using. It is written for a DK weight, but I adapted it to my stitch counts and needle size for a fingering weight. However, if you are a new sock knitter and you don't know yet what your typical gauge is and stuff for knitting socks, that you're not comfortable going down from a DK to a fingering, there is a very similar pattern by the kitchen sink shop. I think it is called the Library Socks, and it's the same. It's just a broken rib stitch, or like waffle stitch, but the one from the kitchen sink shop doesn't do the pattern on the back of the leg. That's the only difference between the two, other than the yarn weights that you use, and both are free patterns. So anyway, I am in love with this waffle stitch. I love how it feels. I love how it looks. Like it's just delightful. So I cast on 64 stitches on a 2.25 millimeter needle. These are my Hayahayas. I think these are my favorite sock knitting needles. and they're my only pair of high-highs. I use heel flap and gusset as usual. And I can't remember, I think I used 15 or 20 rows for the cuff. I can't remember. It's been too long since I had to tell somebody how many row stitches I did for the cuff. So I will tell you this, when I started transitioning to the cuff, to doing the waffle stitch, I did just two regular knitting rounds, and then when you switch to do the ribbing for the waffle stitch, instead of starting with the knit stitches like the pattern says, I started with the purl stitches so that I wouldn't end up with like the knit stitches like just going straight down from the cuff. Like I wanted the cuff to be delineated from the leg, so I started with the purl stitches instead. That is what I did. So that is those. The third and final work in progress that I worked on in the last few weeks. This is really not many projects for like, I think it was like 17 days ago that I uploaded. These are the Rad Radish socks from Stone Knits. And again, super close to finishing the first sock. Like so close. I think I just have to do 10 rows of a colorwork pattern and then do the toe, and this sock is done, and I can cast on the next one. And then when I can cast on the next one and finish the next one, then I will have those needles for the next cast on party. So I'm going to try to have a finishing party here this week. But here is the Rad Radishes. I think I did 15 rows for this cuff for sure. And the yarn is Drops Fable. And except this one, this is Opal. I need to get more of this because I'm going to be using more natural colored. I was wondering if I've been sharing this needle. This is a 2.5 millimeter. I've been sharing it with Numpkin because there's parts of Numpkin that need to be knit with this one. So that's the other thing. These needles have been going back and forth a little bit. But I think since these are off the needles, I think I can do the color work section now because I learned my lesson with my gnome back here to go up a needle size for the color work sections. Yeah. Excellent, well-written pattern. I would knit so many more of her patterns. It's Charlotte Stone, right? Am I wrong? I'll put it here if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Charlotte Stone. But Stone Knits, very lovely and popular colorwork. Socks, cuffs especially, all kinds of things that you can find for knitting for people. Like if they like cats, or they like chickens, or they like sea creatures, or food, different types of food. Yeah, just really excellent. Oh, it's in my fat squirrel bag too. So that is all I've been working on lately. So I'm going to try to get those 2 pairs of socks off the needles this week. And then I still have my Elder Stash project that I have like about half completed. It's just that little mat that I was making to put under my plant at work. I have to finish that up because I'm going to be casting on another Elder Stash project. Now I'm going to talk about planning a little bit. So I'm going to be doing another participating in another mystery knit along, and this one is from Hohi Locatelli, and it is a single skein shawl. Nothing overly complicated according to her like info sheet and everything. Just a single skein, can look great in like tonal yarns. So I did a stash dive, and I've had this Madeline Tosh, what is this called? Mad Tosh Merino Light, I think. The colorway is turquoise. This one, like, it's not coming up on camera, the colors in it, like the darker colors. So the lighter colors does look turquoise. The darker colors in person look a little more brown. But this color is totally my jam. It's very woodsy. Like back here, it's a little more true. Yeah, do you see kind of like brown in there? This has been in my stash since 2013. I've had it there with a colorway, another colorway that was like, I think it's either called Antique Lace or Antler. I've had both of those yarns in my stash. But the one that I had with this, intending to use them both in a pattern, actually went with one of the variegated Fleece Artist skeins into a shawl. So this one has been on its own for a bit, and I think it would be a great one to do for just a one color single skein mystery shawl. So I'm going to be starting that on Saturday. Do I need to be knitting a shawl for myself right now? Probably not. Probably not. I probably should be doing the gift knitting, but what can you do? I will be doing the gift. I'll be doing the gift knitting this evening. So I will finish probably. I could, if I put my mind to it, I could sit down and finish 2 socks this evening, although in different pairs, but although one of them will finish a pair. Anyway, all right. So other plans. So I went into my stash and I did this thing a few years ago where I went through my stash on Ravelry and I picked out my oldest sock yarns that were intended to be knit into socks. And I knit them over the course of a year. So I picked out 12. So it was like 1 pair of socks a month out of my oldest sock yarn. And that was super satisfying and just lovely to see those sock yarns get used. So I did the same thing and I am saving them for 2026. And I put them all in here. And actually I ended up with 13. But that 13th is still over there because I have one that's a partial skein. And I thought there's enough in there still for, like, I used it in the chicken. You can just barely see her there. Her pink stripes on her neck. That's all I used out of that skein. So there's plenty there for me to make a pair of socks for myself. Some of these will be for me. Some of these will be for family members. And then like looking through my stash, I'm probably going to need to purchase more like manly colors. So some of these have been in my stash for quite a while. They are all like, there's so many great yarns in here. I have one sport weight. I have the Kid Dazzle by Fleece Artists right here. That Felici there, I'm going to hold that double with an opal or a fable because I don't find Felici all that springy. I don't find it all that elastic on my leg. It doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't fit. It's like baggy. It stretches a lot more than the other yarns. So I'm going to do DK weight socks. This Miss Babs has been in my stash forever. And like some of these, this is an anniversary yarn by Fleece Artist that they did for Bedeck Yarns. So I'll do socks for myself in this, and then I'll do probably a gnome or something. Like I want to knit something out of it that won't get worn down because it's kind of a memory of Bedeck Yarns. So anyway, that's part of the planning for 2026. Although I worked it out, 2 of those yarns will probably be Christmas gift knits, and then I'll add 2 different yarns to the pile. Although I guess I could just add 1 since I'm at 13, but I don't know. They're my rules. They're my rules. I can do what I want. And then I want to use up some scraps. So I went into my oldest scraps in my stash on Ravelry. And when I did that, I discovered that some were not updated. So I was able to take them out of my stash on Ravelry. And so here are my oldest scraps. So I will be putting these in blankets and such, so that they'll be all used up. Because I think the most overwhelming part of my stash is the scraps, like what to do with them and stuff. So if I take them a little bite at a time, then that works out. So that is all I have to talk about today. I'm at 37 minutes and I don't think I have a whole lot to cut out of this video. So thank you for hanging in there with me and my production crew. So yeah, I hope you have a great Halloween. I hope everybody who went to fiber festivals had a great time. I asked my mom already if she was interested in coming with me to PEI next year, because I think I'm going to go to PEI next year, but I'm going to make it like not just a Yarny trip, but a mommy-daughter excursion as well. So yeah, the Lunenburg one was so nice that I don't want to take her everywhere. So anyway, what do I have at the end of this one? I had to go do a trail inspection for work. So I did that with a coworker and Piper, my field assistant. So that is what you're going to see at the end of this video. And also I'll show you what these guys are doing right now, because I like to do that. And I don't think you guys have seen the cats for a bit. Anyway, I have plans for other videos coming up, so I will see you again soon. And until then, take care. Bye.